Okay, so let's take a look at Spies. Spies is pretty much flat. We had we got a big OPEX coming this Friday. So not a whole lot of options expiring this Friday. I'm gonna probably buy short-term dips to 410. I think 410 is going to continue to be support. We had talked about how we felt like Spies were going to break out of this channel. So we talked about this kind of channel, and we felt like Spies was going to broke out last week. And now it's holding a nice corrective structure at the top. So very little selling pressure. Yesterday was kind of a flat day for Spies and Qs. Qs had a little bit, but not much movement as a whole. Individual stocks were moving, but the indices weren't. So I feel like we don't have a whole lot of options. We don't have a whole lot of puts in the market right now. Like there isn't a whole lot. It's actually, there is some puts building in Spies, but the levels are moving up. So yeah, we're going to buy dips on Spy. We'll probably look for 410 dips to Spy. Very tight stops on that one there. Maybe 50C at most. And then look for a breakout of 411. And I'm kind of looking for more of a movement towards probably 415, 420. I think everything looks supported in the markets. Everything, structurally, price action wise, order flow wise, option flow wise, it all looks pretty supported. When we look at Qs obviously is going to have a little bit more volatility to it. Qs is running into, it's right at the all-time highs right now in pre-market. So this is our first time back. We might get a rip through this. I prefer to wait for a pullback on the first rip. Okay, so Q's got a little bit more options expiring on the OPEX this Friday. It's about 40%. So I'm gonna look for a pullback on Q's. It might be supported early in this week, but I don't think it's going to sustain the gains because we've got a lot rolling off, a lot of kind of supportive tailwinds rolling off. So yeah, on the 4 hour, there's definitely a 337 structural support. I'm probably going to look for a little bit more of a pullback to 330 if we can get one. If we can get one in Qs. It doesn't look like you can see Sasha, you can't see the links. So yeah. Okay. So I'm looking at, I don't know if I want to get long this shallow close to the highs. So I'll look for a little bit bigger dip in Qs and then look to get long because I think we're going to break out of this structure. Yeah. I think we're going to roll out of this structure. I think we'll get a pullback. I don't think we're going to get a pullback to 325, but if we do, I'm happy to buy there. So I think 330 is a pretty good buy point. If not, then I'll roll down to 325 and then I'll look to reattack this and then break through. I think Qs are going to break through probably. I'm not sure they're going to hold this week, but I think they'll break through. And if they don't, then next week, I think Qs are going to break through unless some new event comes out. Can I repost the links for Ganesh? Sure. Give me 1 second. Let's take a look. There we go. And there we go. Okay. So I have a whole webinar on this right here. Ganesh. There you go. Hope that helps. Okay, so that's kind of my rollout on Qs. Bitcoin has breaking the all-time highs as we had suspected that was going to happen. We had been talking about, hey, it's just building pressure on the top of the weekly here. So you can maximize this. We felt like this was a breakout imminent. In fact, we even said it was going to be this week or next week. And we got it. So now it's hard, at this point, shallow dips to 60. We'll take that. Let's roll out a 1 hour and see. Yeah, you even had a breakout leading up to it. We had a larger breakout structure, which you showed on the weekly, and then we have a smaller breakout structure. Here's your pullback support, and it's just building, building, building. And you can look at the rejections. Rejection, weaker rejection. So here's the lows building, a little bit of accumulation here, weak rejection, push, squeeze, break. So pretty much as we anticipated. I'll take pullbacks to 60, 61.4, 61.5. Yeah, it's hard not to be long Bitcoin at this point. We might even have like a breakout structure on a micro chart here. Sort of. Yeah, at this point, I want to take a pullback. I like the pullback to 61.5. The weekly VWAP should trail up by then. If we can get the pullback and the weekly VWAP to meet right around the same place, that's what we're looking for. So there's a lot of people. So for a lot of my normal usual traders are making callouts. So y'all know Joxen, Jeremy, all that callouts are towards the end. So I'm not doing callouts right off the bat. So if you can, save the callouts after we've gone through the list. So for those of you who new, we do callouts. We just got to cover through our list first, and then we'll do callouts. Callout is, hey, I want you to look at this chart. I want you to look at this pattern. I want you to look at this. Those are callouts. And so I like to go through my process first, cover spies, Qs, Bitcoin, to give you an overall view of the market. Then I want to look at the movers in Benzinga, which we're going to do right now. And then we'll do open callouts. Open callout is you want to look at any stock, any instrument, doesn't matter. 3 requirements: symbol, time frame. You want me to do the analysis, and 1 cent subscription, bullish or bearish. That's it. So that's kind of what that's how this is going to roll. So looking at the gainers in the pre-market, anything above 600K. So that would be WIMI right here and above. So these are all 1 million and above. And in comparison, the average volume, we have a couple here. WIMI is okay. Mara is this Mara? No, this is Regal. Okay. And NVCR, and then this one right here. So these are all ones that have good volume in relationship to their average 30-day volume. So let's take a look at some of these here. Let's take a look at WIMI. So one thing I love about Benzinga, I just click it, shows me the chart and the 5-minute. 5-minute structure is not bad. Is there any news though? Any positive catalysts on WIMI? Where its partnership with Toyota Group's electronic subsidiary, no terms disclosed. Content makes its non-fungible tokens hologram possible. No one thought so. Is game trading card printed. Okay. So it's kind of getting a little NFT, and it's got some partnership with Toyota Group's electronic subsidiary. Okay, it's okay. It's not gangster, but it's decent. And it's about 1/5, 1/6, so roughly 15-20% of the average volume right now. So let's take a look. Structure wise, does WIMI have options? It does not. Okay, makes it less interesting. All right, so let's mark the pre-market highs. I guess we'll keep that spike in mind at 650. And then now that we've looked at the pre-market highs, I'd like to go to the weekly and see if where is the position right now in relationship to major support and resistance. So WIMI has this thing where it rips and then fades, rips and then fades, and it doesn't really hold the gains that long. So this is not a multi-week runner type thing. It's the type. Stefano, are you doing callouts already, even though we just had that thing about callouts? Stefano, pay attention, homie. Pay attention. We just had that discussion about that. You guys are in my course. You know we save callouts for later. Okay, so WIMI is pretty much at the bottom of this range. And then there's a little bit of a pop here. I don't know. I'm not really crazy about this one. It's not really a gangster news thing. The volume's okay, but we got a boatload of resistance above. We got 736. And you can see like a lot of these intra-week rallies tend to get faded. Yeah, I think Wimby is one of those quick in, quick out if you want to take it. It's not my favorite. Oh, you were commenting about BDC. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we'll come back to that for sure. I'm not really crazy about this one. This one's not. It's ripped from 576, 617. It's 40 cents. The structure is good. The structure is fine. Rip and then build. I don't feel like I got massive upside on this one here. And the news isn't gangster. So I'll probably keep this towards the back of the list, but I'm not going to like write home to mom about it or anything. Riot's looking good. It's just following Bitcoin right now. So Riot, Mara, all looking good, following Bitcoin breaking higher. But the volume in relationship to its 30-day, it's only like 5%. So it's not huge volume for it. Same thing with Mara. Mara is a high volume stock for a BDC stock. And again, you're talking 127th roughly. So, but let's take a look at Mara. Since Bitcoin is looking good, let's take a look at Mara. I like Mara. Even though my option play is out of the money right now in Mara. Mara has a lot of options expiring this Friday. 67%. That means there's a boatload of, and it was last week it was also pretty high. Yeah, there's a lot of people trading weekly options on Mara. Okay, copy that, Mara. Copy that. So where are we? Last week, that was a pretty big rally that faded. Yesterday ripped and faded a little bit. There might be a short play here, short term. There is a lot of weekly options on this, so it's got some supportive fuel. Right now, calls and puts 314,000, 213,000. So it's more call based. And so that means the supportive fuel for the market is going to be expiring on Friday. So there might be a play Friday to potentially fade this. So I'll look for maybe a push towards the highs if we get one towards the end of the week, and maybe a potential fade, like get in Friday, hold it till Monday, maybe Tuesday, and then close it out. It's tough right now because Bitcoin is gaining right now. So it's kind of hard to trade against this. But there's a fair amount of options expiring and they're supportive. So I think your first line of support is going to be 50. That's kind of where I'm looking at. Let's pull up the one. Let's see what this looks like on the one. Oh, okay, that's interesting. That 1 hour structure is interesting. So ripped all the way up to 57 last week, faded really fast. This pullback is corrective. It's got some impulsive legs in it. But look at this. I mean, look how long this has taken to on the 7th, 8th, 9th, and then yesterday. So 4 days to go from 45 to 54, 53. That's roughly $8. And yet it's sold off from 57 to 45 in 2 days. So there clearly is some dealers or some positions some heavy players that are wanting to sell this on rallies. Maybe they're hedged on the wrong side. And so they feel like, hey, this is getting overvalued. If we get back up here, this is going to be the first time back to 57. So if we get back up to 57 this week and then we get another impulsive sell-off, then there's some large players there. But it's kind of hard to stop Mara. It's just going to continue to build higher lows in the face of Bitcoin continuing to gain. So there might be a play. Yeah. Potential 55 to 57 on the long side, but then look for rallies up here. If you start to see large sellers come in on the prints, I would not be looking for a breakout. If you want to be on the bull side, you're going to want this to break above this 54.73 today, 55, hit this, and then pull back and find support here, and then just continue to build higher lows and squeeze. If that starts to manifest, watch for a breakout, especially around like Monday or Tuesday next week, because there's a load of options that are going to reset, being the monthly OPEX. And so once that slate cleans, then those people who are already expired their options that were long, probably made some money out, they're going to reload. And so they're going to buy dips on this. So any dips will be bought. So medium term bullish, very short term bullish, but watch out for this 57 and the expiry. So yeah, I like that. If we happen to get above it, I'll keep an eye out. But you have to keep your eye out for potential heavy sellers. There might be some heavy sellers out there. So that's my thoughts on Mara. So I like Mara. Mara's a good stock. Regal Pharmaceuticals, 1.4 million volume, 3.8. It's its average 30 days. So it's already 1/3. Shares are trading higher after the company's phase 2 clinical trial of fostamatinib. The names on these pharmaceutical drugs, I mean, why can't we just call them George and stuff? I don't know. It seems a little weird. In hospitalized patients with COVID, okay, it's a COVID drug, phase 2. So it's not through the 3rd phase. It's not much of a rip, though. 309 to 350. Primary endpoint. And it's still a phase 2. Let's see if there's anything else that comes with this. Not totally. Okay, that's really it. Because you're still gonna have a lot more to go. You still got a phase 3. 29 patients. Yeah, still not at the like hundreds level in terms of patients. So okay, so it's not bad. It's not bad, but it's still got a ways to go. It's not going to be in mass market anytime soon. So I think we'll pass. It's not really ripping a whole lot. This is interesting. Novo Cure, 0.7 million. It's already above its average 30-day volume. Very interesting. Okay. Good rip. And let's see, what did we start at? 131. What? We got a 3-figure stock ripping from 134 to 249. What? When does that happen? NVCR. When does that happen, and what is the news? That almost never happens. Okay, phase 3, a little bit better. Update on phase 3 pivotal lunar trial of tumor treating fields in non-small lung cancer. Specific internals conclude a favorable recommendation to continue the lunar trial. Okay, so not done with the phase 3 trial. It's just they're in part of it. They got some data. See, now once you start a phase 3, you're in the hundreds. You have to have, generally almost, I don't know of any phase 3 that doesn't have hundreds of patients are trying. It's likely is likely unnecessary and possibly unethical for patients randomized to control arm and recommend a shortened trial, right? Okay. That seems questionable. That seems very questionable. It's average. It's a 3-figure stock, and it only trades 700,000 shares on average. It ripped $110 and then has already pulled back. Okay. It's kind of questionable news. That's kind of questionable news. It's holding 20 right now. Okay, let's check out options. Okay, we got 18%, but there's not a lot of options on this for this expiry. Yeah, so this is not a well-known stock, hence the sub 1 million average 30-day volume. And because of that, that's why you don't have a lot of options expiring this Friday, because nobody's really trading it on a short-term basis. The next like major expiry is like not until June. So yeah, okay, 27,000 calls, that makes sense. 6,000 puts. Top open interest call is 200. Okay, So it's not really, even the option traders before this news came out, we're not expecting this to make it past 200. Maybe, I mean, maybe just a little bit past that, but yeah, I feel like it's going to struggle. I feel like it's anything above 200 and it's going to struggle. Yeah, this might be a fade. Is it an easy to borrow stock? It is. Okay. This might be a potential short play. This might be a fade. We're already starting to see that on the 5-minute. So, I mean, it's a pretty big. Yeah. Okay. So let's take a look at this on the 5. Actually, let's see on the weekly. Am I running into any major all-time highs? All-time highs. And it was prior all-time highs was 192. That's interesting. Okay. So literally, we had a pretty decent run, impulsive, corrective, impulsive, corrective, impulsive, very big sell-off down to a basis support of 120. This might be a fade. This might be a fade. Yeah, it's already starting to fade. Okay. So if it starts to break through the prior all-time highs at 194, then this thing might be unwinding a fair amount. Like we could see this thing unwind back to, yeah, down to 130. This thing has the potential to fade. And there's nobody that's continuing to buy. It was a pretty impressive run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 35-minute run. But then it ran into just a wall. Like largest candle at the end. A lot of exhaustion. So you have accelerating momentum, a little bit of pause at the all-time highs. We break through it. You can see the breakout structure here. Break through it, open, and literally the second this 5-minute candle opens, rips. Like there's not even one tick down. Huge extension from, where is that? 209 to 250 plus. What was the high? 264. So like a $55 rip, but then just ran to a wall. Like after this spike here, just and then sell off. Yeah, there's some major players who felt like this is way overextended. So they sold this in just large amounts. Okay, that's the market open. So I think if we lose, this is in trouble. I wouldn't mind seeing a pullback to VWAP, but I think once we lose 192, this is in trouble. So this might be a potential fade play. So I like this for a potential fade play. All right, so we got a potential fade play. MFNC. Let's try to see if we can run through this. Harvard Company and Nicolette Bank shares jointly announced the execution of a definitive merger agreement. Okay, it's a merger, so yeah. Okay, so it's a merger. You generally don't want to trade that. Because the price will usually stay very contained. That's contained. That's contained. Okay, great. So we kind of got our list. Mara, Spies, NVCR, Sasha. So Spies, Mara, NVCR. All right, let's do some open Q&A now. I'm gonna roll back through these questions here. We've answered the technical analysis question. Okay, let's see. What is the first question? What is that alert? CrowdStrike. Okay. So first question. Solomon, the way Pfizer play, the way call outs work is instrument, time frame, 1 cent subscription, bullish or bearish. So post those 3 things and we'll check out your call out. Sifway Zondo, good to see you. Okay, TSN. So Jeremy's got the first official call out. TSN. Let's take a look. TSN daily. Tyson Foods. Okay. XLE rolling over. Did I miss my rollover chance on XLE? Looks bullish. Looks bullish on the structure. TSN, sorry. Okay, it's got a fair amount of options expiring this Friday, this OPEX. but it's also got support pretty far, not far below. So yeah, I like dips to 70, maybe. This ain't bad. This ain't a bad spot. Hey, get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, so I like dips on this one. Yeah, I like dips on this one. Very shallow dips, maybe to weekly VWAP, or that's monthly VWAP, maybe. A little bit better is towards, this kind of area right here. Let's get my pen out. It's like around 73. And then the just above 70, pretty good play here. So let me switch this over to live session data. That's not bad. That's actually not a bad spot. What kind of volume does this thing do on an average day? Average is 1.69 volume. So it's not gangster, but we're already at 4, 5, 6, maybe a 6. Yeah, I like dips on this one. It's a good spot, Jeremy. Are you thinking get long the underlying, or are you thinking options? Yeah, it says potential. Like once it breaks through, it says potential for an 80, 83, 84, like 83 rip. But its structure is good. This is COVID. It hasn't recovered its all-time highs, but it's steady. Yeah, it's building, it's stabilizing, it's building, stabilizing. With the fact that it stabilizes, breaks, stabilizes, breaks, I'd probably prefer more pullbacks on this than pure breakouts. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that one. Because it hasn't really shown a tendency post-COVID to sustain its breakouts. Every single breakout is stabilizing and pulling back a little bit. You can see right there, breakout, pull back. And so bust up, stabilize. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking on this one. So it's not a bad spot. I like it. Someone saying, can you show us on Oprah how many options are expiring? I cannot. I do not have what is called a vendor agreement with Oprah. So I can't. I would have to have what is called a vendor. I have to have a specific agreement with Oprah to basically say, I have what is called a non-vendor agreement. That means I can't publish, I can't openly stream the data or anything like that. I can share my interpretation of it, but I can't openly do that. So I'm not allowed. I don't have that subscriber. Basically, for me to have that, Salman, I would have to not only pay the extra fee, subscriber fee for that, but I would have to pay a fee per subscriber watching. Yeah. So for every person watching, I'd have to pay a fee for all y'all. So yeah, I can't show you the screen or any of that data. I'm not legally allowed. I apologize. Yeah, I can just give my interpretation of it. Okay, Jockson wants to look at APHA. Sure. Let's look at APHA. APHA. Hurting. It broke their key support. Yeah, Free is in trouble. Free is in trouble. When is the merger? Does anybody know when the merger is happening on Freya? Yeah, these stocks are in trouble. Where do I think Afria will actually find a base at this point now that it's lost 15? It's got a fair amount of gamma rolling off this Friday as well. Wow, that would be interesting. Okay. Yeah, Afria is in trouble. I mean, there is a decent level here at 1360, but it kind of broke a pretty important support. 1520. Yeah, it seems like a lot of the cannabis enthusiasm has waned. There was good enthusiasm to start the year, even to start last year. We were longing early, and we definitely made some money, but our current long position is underwater. So I might just have to close this out. I think if we get a weekly close below 13, then I'll probably just cut my long and close my covered calls and just call it a loss and move on. But I'm not liking this. Because even this weekly low where a decent bounce came in, which is 14 roughly, it's right around where we are now. This has been faded. It's been sold off 3 of the last 4 weeks. This week is bearish. So it just seems like a lot of the underpinnings for free right now are just not there. There's interest, but there's just not a lot of underpinnings in it right now. So I feel like, yeah, a free is like kind of its last line of defense. Otherwise, I don't see anything until like 10. So yeah. I think it's the last line of defense. All right, Stefano. See, there's a structure that's a little bit different. All-time highs. I was wondering if you refer to BDC for the pullback. Okay, so Stefano's wondering, hey, one of the proxies I trade from Bitcoin is GBTC, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. I'm liking Mara as a better proxy to some degree right now. It just has more volatility. It also has options on it. But you're wondering if I look at the structure in Bitcoin and then look to buy GBTC. That's generally the play, but I still want the structure to be good on GBTC. Yeah. Helmer. So Helmer Eklund saying, what do you guys think about Tesla opening? So give me the time frame and 1 cent subscription, bullish or bearish. Tesla's challenging, from last I checked, is challenging that kind of 700, 720 resistance. Okay, we got another legit call out. BAC. Wow, bank. We haven't taken a look at these in a while. BAC 1 hour LLT at 39.55. It's not bad. I wouldn't necessarily think of this as an LLT. I mean, it's a round number, but I think we got some better res between 42 and 44. So I don't really think of this as an LLT. Banks have been pretty underpinned lately, so 2.1 million calls. So over 2 million calls, 1.5 million. Fair amount of gamma expiring this Friday. Over 40%. This might struggle. This might struggle. This might be a decent options fade. This might struggle. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see it. If it somehow is able to stabilize past 40 here, I see it struggling once it hits 45. It's just gonna, everything will be expensive at that point. Calls will be expensive. It'll just keep running out of room. So there might be a potential fade play on BAC here. There might be. Just maybe like mid late this week, maybe even today. Yeah. So yeah, there might be a fade play down to 35. Maybe a decent option play, maybe put flies, maybe a bear. Maybe if you want to take, you could do bear put spread. If you want to take the credit bull call or a bear call spread, so maybe, I don't know. If I was playing this, I'm just kind of going through in my head. Maybe, if I wanted to take the credit bull call or bear call spread, if I want to buy the options directly, bear put spread. Potential fly on this one here, maybe like a 40, 35, 30 kind of thing. Because we've got a very good support at 35. So there are some potentials on this one. This ain't a bad spot. This has potential, Jeremy. So yeah, or was this you, Jeremy? No, this is Jake. Yeah, it's a pretty good spot, Jake. It's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, I like this one. Thank you for bringing this one up. We get a, where are you? You're under my camera. I got to find a new camera setup. View. Okay. ERJ. Okay. I'm going to have to go to the OTC version of it. Weekly bullish, looking for a breakout pullback. Oh, okay. Rare airline. It's got some cojones on that. ERJ. I don't have options on ERJ directly. Yeah, so it's hard to say. You're thinking weekly bullish, looking for a breakout pullback. Where are you looking for a breakout pullback to, Kevin? Like 10.71. I would probably prefer a pullback more towards 9. I'm not feeling gangster about airlines right now. There is one airline I feel pretty good about. I feel good about like Air Canada, like a medium long-term play. The value is getting pretty good on Air Canada. I had a chance, fun fact, I had a chance to buy Air Canada in 2014 for like $2-3 a share. Yeah, I was like gonna load up on like 10,000 shares. And I was like, I don't know enough about the stock, and it was just kind of a feeling I had because I had flown on Air Canada. That's when we were moving to Montreal. And so we checked it out. We flew on Air Canada. We had such a great experience. And I'm like, wow, I'm curious, what the stock price is on this company because I felt like it was a good experience. And the stock was like $2-3. I was like, wait a minute. And so I thought about loading up 10,000 shares, but I didn't. I ended up making some other plays. And the stock went from like 2 to like 50. Like I could have paid some bills with that. So yeah. Anyways, I kind of have like a thing for Air Canada now. And I believe in its long-term viability. I can't say I'm really gangster. This isn't necessarily a huge mover. Because look at this. Like from 6 to 11 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks. I mean, it's yeah, it's not bad, but that's not, I mean, it's like $5 in like 10 weeks. It's so slow. So I'd probably wait for a pullback a little bit, maybe to 9. Yeah, that'd be like my first area I'd consider 9-2, something like that. Yeah. We got an FX call out. Oh my. NZD. Okay, wow, I'm running way late into the trading session here. Okay, so we'll do a couple more call outs and then that's pretty much it. It's an okay level right now. There is some supportish. Like this is, you kind of got a breakout structure right here. Building, it's counter trend, but it seems like it hit a pretty decent floor here. Yeah, it seems like Euro hit a floor against Kiwi dollar. Just look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then rip and higher lows here. It feels like short-term Euro Kiwi supported. Even though volume is kind of fading, it still feels like it's supportive. So I'm not necessarily crazy about this level. It's okay. Like if I'm gonna short Euro Kiwi, I'd probably wait a little bit higher. Like 172. That'd probably be the first day I consider short. All right. Seems like Tesla is trying to break higher. 721. Yeah, it might break it this time. It might break it. It's got a fair amount of gamma expiring this Friday. So it might rip leading into Friday and then the weekly options expire. And then it might have a little bit of a pullback. Structurally, though, it's hard to deny this. I mean, so clear base 560. Then we had a large option buyer come in here and then it's just ripped. And the pullbacks have been pretty shallow. This is impulsive, a little impulsive here, but look at this. This overall pullback, you can see, let me delete the lines real quick. So you can see the transition. So the pullback is like a channel, then it transitions, it stabilizes, finds a higher bid, and now it's pressing. So it's trying to clear this 725. It's going to have resistance at 740. I mean, it's kind of hard to deny the structure right now. So I would say short-term bullish up to like 740, 742. If it takes a little bit to get to 742, like late this week, there might be an end of week fade or something like that, but it's hard not to be short-term bullish on this. What's the volume? It's 1.6. It's not gangster volume, but it's there. It's there. So yeah, you might get like a rip up to here, a little bit of a pullback, and then if it stabilizes at 720 and continues to break up, then you got some room to run. Yeah. Yeah, short term is hard not to be. Okay, we'll take 3 more questions and then we'll wrap it up. Jeffrey Bankers, do you look for stocks with good higher time frame context to find intraday opportunities instead of using the scanner? For day trading, I generally look for scanner. Yeah, because the scanner is telling me what's moving for the day. That doesn't mean that I'm not keeping an eye on stocks that have good higher time frame context already, but the higher time frame context doesn't matter if there's no volume. If there's no volume for day trading stocks, if there's no volume, there's no interest, it's unlikely to break out or have a massive rip on the day. So you need your movers. You need something to have the volume to do that. So the context could be supportive, but if there's no volume, then this is not going to be a ripper. So that's why you need, for day trading, for the day trading setups, you need something that is going to have the volume to go with it. Can I share the link tonight to it? Just go to their website, Salman, OPRA. You can look them up. You can Google them. Yeah, you can sign up for they have a huge contract process. You have to go through that thing. You have to go through their contract process, sign an agreement with them. It's a pretty lengthy deal. Keep in mind, you have to, it's not like they're just providing you the data in some simple platform. You have to have something that collects the data and interprets it. So yeah. Okay. Cool Carney, good to see you. Do you maintain a journal during the session? No, it's just in here. Yeah. Jake is saying my chart was on the weekly. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. Daily, weekly doesn't matter. Okay, we got a Jivo call out. So 2 more call outs. I'm not bullish on Jivo. I'm not bullish on Jivo. Reason being, we have impulsive move, false break, immediate counter trend selling, corrective structure here at the bottom of this impulsive move. That means there was no buyers that were pushing back and then building up a base higher and higher. And it just ran into a line of sand here. And now we got pressure to the downside. Yeah, I'm leaning towards bearish on this. Yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards bearish. And I would definitely, if we get up to 1010, is this a... It is hard to borrow, so most retail traders cannot trade it, but you can trade it via options. So yeah. Yeah. So if we happen to get up to 10 again, I'd be a seller. I'd be a seller. I'd rather fade this one. It seems like 10 is, yeah, it's got a lot of options expiring this Friday. Downside pressure. Yeah, this could unwind a little bit. I'm not bullish on this one here. I'm bearish. Okay, last call out goes to Jake. SM. I haven't checked in on this one in a little bit. 1515 buy bottom of corrector structure. Where'd it go up to? 19? Okay. $20. 15 is not bad. It's not bad. That's not bad. Is this an oil company? It is oil. It's not bad. Oil is retreating a little bit though, as a whole. So if I was to trade this one, this is just me. If I was to trade this one, yeah, light positioning on 15, larger positioning on 12, 6, 12, 7, 5. Yeah, oil is fading a little bit. A lot of oil plays are fading a little bit, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning on this one here. Yeah, but it does have some support. So 15 isn't bad. 12.75 is pretty strong. Okay, we'll give the last one to Nima. Nima, you win. Just through sheer persistence. PayPal, I'm bullish on. I'm definitely bullish on. Will I add PayPal to my portfolio today? Probably not. Especially with OpEx coming this Friday. If I can clear, I mean, there's some room. There's definitely some room to make it towards this all-time highs. I'd like to wait for a little bit of a pullback. Yeah, between the 254 and this kind of 240 area and 242. You know, anywhere from like 230 to 242, really strong buy zone. You can kind of see a fair amount of, so base for a rip higher, market sells off. But look at every single weekly candle here. And then even a buy, like buying a little bit higher. All these dips were bought, lift, clears out, you know, the resistance there. It's bullish. It's hard not to be bullish on PayPal right now. So yeah, I'm bullish on PayPal. I won't add at these prices. I'll probably wait for a little bit of a dip and then look to get long on PayPal. But I like PayPal. I like it. It's great. I think it's a good play. Yeah, good spot. Okay, I'm going to switch over to live trading for the members in the trading masterclass. So good session today, guys. Good having you all here. I hope to see you. I will be here this Friday for open Q&A. So come here for that. We're going to be testing out the new software again. Hopefully we'll have dialed it in by then. The new streaming software. So I hope to see you then. We'll do more open Q&A. I'll review some of the trades that I did for the week, ones that I'm looking at next week. You can ask questions, call outs, things like that. So we'll do that. So I hope to see you Friday. Other than that, good luck trading to this week. If you haven't already, smash that like button. We appreciate it there. You know, I should have been trading right now. I'm like way late into the session. And so I did this for you all and all the extra call outs and everything. So I hope to see you guys there. So hit that like button if you appreciate this. Good luck trading. Be safe, everybody. And I will see you in the green. Take care.